My kids are now 7 and 5, and I am concerned about the stress we, as a growing population, we are putting to the environment.
Working on farms, at climate, is important for us. It's everything.
My tax money goes to pay for other areas of the city damaged by extreme weather events, and also food costs in general will continue to rise and rise and rise.
I have asthma. Air quality is important to me, and have a brand new grandchild, so super important.
My concern is for the disappearance of animals and the sixth extinction in this world.
I'm concerned about climate change in terms of its impacts on health to our community, particularly extreme heat, more flooding, more extreme storms, and how particularly it's going to affect the most vulnerable people in our community.
I personally care about climate change because I have not only seen but also personally have witnessed the disparities it creates among Black and brown neighborhoods.
I think the flooding and then also the fires. So when you think about that, they are both going to have some type of impact on our food supply.
I feel the best way that they could address climate change is by supporting circular economies.
Build tons of solar arrays, do them in public places that you can integrate them with a park, build them in high energy burden areas, and make that power distribution specifically benefit that local community.
I'd like to see more solar in homes. I would like to see the emissions on cars cut.
We need to learn how to move and restructure and re-engineer, how to move around without expelling so much carbon into the atmosphere. So buses should all be electrified. We should do whatever we can to get electric cars to replace the internal combustion vehicles that we have. We should build infrastructure for charging for those vehicles.
We need to compost on a grand scale. Individuals and businesses should be charged for excessive trash.
To stop the freeway expansion. That is unnecessary, and it's also adding to more upheaval for the communities and also more pollution.
I think the city can invest in more infrastructure in terms of making the streets more bike friendly and reducing carbon emissions that way.
Incentives for businesses to go green and be more environmentally efficient.
We can also create jobs that allow communities to work on these things. And I would also like to see training for these jobs.
We need just the buy-in from the communities, showing that also makes financial sense and bring jobs to Wisconsin.
Seminars or some form of structure put around to teach people how to reuse the plastics and materials that we turn into waste.
I strongly believe in the power of education, and I feel like we need to figure out a systematic approach to addressing some of these issues in terms of maybe developing curriculum that we actually use in schools to help students understand the impact, but then also so that it trickles up so that adults also understand.
If we can implement a program that provides at a discount energy efficient appliances like heat pumps, stoves, electric water heaters, let's distribute those to the people who are in most need.
New jobs that embrace green energy, bringing new technologies, and we will need training programs to improve the practical knowledge in these areas and provide opportunity.
I think that there just needs to be a concentrated effort to improve the quality of the housing stock in the most needy neighborhoods. And these are things that could have a huge effect on carbon emissions too.
Access to good jobs, transportation, and even housing are very dependent on the ability to get around. Transportation needs to be improved.
Many of the jobs are out in the suburbs, but people can't get to them because they don't have vehicles. And this has got to stop. We need to have access all throughout the community.
We can definitely improve racial equity in Milwaukee by creating clean energy jobs.
Supporting those future generations who are the brainstormers, the problem solvers, and the thinkers that are going to take on these challenges and embrace them head on.
There are a lot of burned down or foreclosed homes that could be turned into sustainable living and could be turned into sustainable food, sustainable energy, sustainable water collection.
I view climate change to be not only a political and social issue, but also a human rights issue.